all weekend. All weekend. I don't even know how many of those 4,000 views are me, but I know at least two
A
of them.
lot of them are mine.
At least two of them were just from when I was jogging.
A lot of them are mine. Somebody calling it incest at the outpost.
You know how hard it is when you're a fat guy and you're trying to go get cardio and you're laughing? It's not very productive. I was hysterical laughing while jogging. I couldn't stop fucking laughing.
I want to get this on Spotify or at least
This guy's
SoundCloud.
the best.
Gorillasaurus, between listening to the incest song, the complete history of Chris Chan, and the acts of Biden administration, I could feel myself going insane. Is this my Joker origin story? Hobo Chili Recipe, 3 beers. I mean, Frozen. I would like to pay my respects to you. Don Tardio, salute. Mersh is not meeting the requirements of being a trustworthy wartime consigliere. May I recommend the Rice Monkey, I mean Frozen. So,
Yeah, where's he at today?
because I find a lot of these...
I'm here.
Because,
Hey,
because
what's
I
up, Frozen?
find a lot of these cards on Daywave. They've been calling me Don Tardio, and I don't like it.
I'm the late guy, and I'm like, oh, yeah, Mr. isn't even here at work today? No, he's there. He's right over there. He's just working. Oh.
Yeah, he's been working.
Sorry.
He's been doing prep for 40 minutes.
Damn.
Hobo Chili Recipe.
That backfired.
Hobo Chili Recipe. Buy me a cup fucking coffee thing is not a friend of ours. It keeps fucking up my words. Maron. The Cynical Negro. You should play the Sleeping Piranha Plant music from Mario 60. Oh God, okay. Oh God. I know the Sleeping Piranha Plant.
Very specific.
I know, but I know what it is.
I'm very impressed.
I know what it is.
I'm very impressed by that level of autism.
It's the Piranha Plant lullaby, and what they wanted me to do was...
And need to be strong, both of us who are the lighthouse.
Oh, Sleepy Joe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I look forward to working with you now. And
This fucking...
you and I are going to write yet another chapter in the beautiful story of the friendship between our two nations.
It's a 10-hour mix of that song.
He is doing great. I'm proud of our president, frankly. For a guy who's exhausted, old, and has dementia, I think he's done a good job when you add those qualifiers.
Incest, a good thing to do, donated 5 beers.
It's never going to end.
And they wrote, incest, I hate you for introducing me to this song.
Incest, a good thing to
I've
do.
probably heard this song 60 times this weekend.
Felix Rose, Israel now openly says it will kindly help transport Afghans to America, but won't let a single one of them on Israeli soil. That's actually true. So they're
That's
willing
hilarious.
to transport them, but
That
not,
doesn't tell you,
Yeah.
like, something right there?
Yeah, no, I know.
It doesn't, like... If we tried to pull that with anyone else, the whole world would be condemning us. Ugh.
Extensive 100 bought a beer. The Super Tardio Brothers show is my favorite podcast. Spider Pig bought a beer. Saturday night, I took an edible. As soon as it kicked in, the song popped into my head. Thanks for the brain aids. You're welcome.
It's completely demolished our plans to Judas roll everyone.
Yeah, Judas Roll's gone. Nobody cares
Yeah, we
about
destroyed the Judas Roll.
Nobody cares about Judas Roll. Now it's an incest roll.
This guy... By the way, it just goes to show you that retard is more over than Fozzy.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the record, Chris Jericho, that man wrote a better song than you've ever written, and he didn't need the guy from Skillet to help him.
Daniel Bryan is going to come out. Supposed to make his
To this?
appearance.
To
Well, that's what I was
incest?
gonna. That was what I was gonna say. Daniel Bryan should come out to this. How great would that be? Be amazing.
I mean, you got to do something at AEW to get something over.
Braun Strowman did not get an AEW offer. He will be going to Impact.
Oh no!
Serious.
Oh no! He's gonna be wrestling on Twitch.
AEW Dark is taking. This is another fun one for you. AEW Dark is taking over the TNA wrestling ring here at Universal and doing their dark shows from there. Yep, it's fucking nuts, man.
Oh, cool! So we could go. We go to Universal and go see the Factory wrestle the Gun Club. What? What's the matter, Royce?
It's terrible.
You're
man.
laughing as if that doesn't sound like a cool thing to go do.
It's going to be the new home of Daniel Garcia.
Can I say
Holy
something?
shit, man.
And I mean this. I don't like that Frozen's being funny.
You don't like it?
It's starting to bother
All
me.
right, well, let him get like 3 a weekend.
Yeah, I'm a little upset actually. Do not make us look bad.
Dude, it really is starting to feel like that. It already feels like that bloated 2000 WCW roster where they're like, we got to do something with Scott Norton. You know what I mean?
Why?
You know what I mean, though? It's just like, what are we doing here? You have 17 broadcast teams, and they're all bad. What's happening?
So let's check out what happened
What's
with.
the matter? You don't like watching Chris Cruz call matches with Glacier in it?
Not really.
Jesus Christ.
They hired all these announcers, so they got like Mark Henry as an announcer and the Big Show as an announcer. But then when I watched
2 of the best guys on the mic in history, too, by the way. 2 of the hottest mic guys in the business.
So then I go and I fucking watch Rampage on Friday, and Jericho is still on the announce team. I'm like, you're all this because they have no faith in these guys,
Dude, hiring Paul White to be one of your commentators is like hiring Samoa Joe to be your strength and conditioning coach. To have Samoa Joe's coming and she's in charge of cardio.
hiring Paul White to be on your announce team is like hiring Paul White to be on 205 Live doing moonsaults.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so there was a hurricane, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Ida?
Shout out to New Orleans.
Just shout out?
Yeah,
to the
shout out
city?
to New Orleans.
Big ups, New Orleans.
Shout out, big ups to the Cajun Navy, dog.
But we do begin tonight with this Category 4 hurricane slamming into the U.S. this Sunday, making landfall just before 1 p.m.
Is he
Eastern
an
this
android?
afternoon.
I still have not been convinced he's not a Brian Williams clone, like a young Brian Williams clone.
He is, he gives me like Generation 2 synth vibes.
Yeah.
Like, he's not quite a Generation 3 yet, but he's so stiff and weird. Like, look at his posture.
Jack Dark's got a good point. He goes, you can give them a shout out, but they can't hear or see you. Yeah, they don't have power right now, so New Orleans ain't listening right now.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, neither does California, and they didn't even have a hurricane. So
No, they just had a fucking terrible governor.
An extremely dangerous Cat 4 storm, winds reaching 150 miles an hour, unleashing
Which is different than a Catboy storm.
damaging winds, torrential rains, and a life-threatening storm surge. And as we know,
Did you see the fucking Al Roker out in the fucking rain? What an asshole! Like you don't need to be. Every time I see these,
so miserable too.
every time I see these fucking weather guys out in these storms, and I live in Florida, so we get a lot of hurricanes and tropical storms. So we see our local guys doing probably more than anybody in the country. But every time I see it, I'm like, you don't need to be out there. We have windows. There's no need for you to be out there.
noted this is 16
Dude,
years
I
to
was
the
watching yesterday that you brought up Al Roker specifically. It's hilarious. So I was looking around trying to find some good feeds. Which, by the way, as always, the media gives you nothing. It's garbage coverage. Go look up on YouTube the storm chasing channel.
I have some of those.
Yeah, that's where you got to go. But I was watching NBC at first, and like the YouTube thing will just have the feed. It'll have like the satellite feed, so you get the in-between shit. Dude, Al Roker was just standing there waiting to go live for like 2 minutes on this feed, and he looked miserable.
Because Al Roker wanted to transition, and he did for the most part, from weather guy to anchor, on the show. But whenever there's storms, it's like, hey, Roker, you got to head out there, bud. And he's not as heavy as before. The wind's going to take him.
That is very true. But he was like this the whole time, like an old man should be in the cold rain.
I actually have the video.
That's not.
If your dick get hard in front of your cousins, that's okay.
By the way, speaking of
Give it up.
AEW, they just signed Jay Lethal. This is going to be his gimmick.
Oh, you ready? Here comes
glasses,
Jay
same way.
Lethal.
And if you do incest, it's okay to do. If grown men like
Okay, look, this song, I apologize. This song may be stuck in some people's heads.
Forever.
Yes. Sorry, hurricane.
day since Katrina hit there. Tonight, there is growing concern in Grand Isle, Louisiana. The images of water rushing into homes there.
You mean the island
Call-
that's below sea level? Yeah, I would be concerned.
Well, to be fair, so what happened was somebody found an ocarina and played the Song of Storms.
Well, then why would you do that in a place that it's right next to sea level?
The ferry didn't tell him.
Ferry, I'm starting to think the ferry is a fed.
You showing me the fairies in Zelda are fence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They do glow.
They literally glow.
They glow.
Help. Rescuers unable to reach them for
But
some
it's like,
time.
I don't understand New Orleans and like the below sea level cities that everyone's like, oh, you know,
Ocarina.
it's like we can't hand out plastic beads for showing your tits somewhere else. Like it has to be there. It's not like Louisiana is, like it's not like New Orleans is located strategically good. It's literally out in the ocean,
Strategically
right?
well. Actually, I'm wrong on that one.
There's no point to it. We can't just like move all of the festivities from New Orleans to Tampa and just why do you keep spending all this money rebuilding Atlantis? Just stop. Just move inland.
Boobs and beads.
But again, we could do that elsewhere.
Where? Give me a city.
We do that
Give
elsewhere.
me a city.
Tampa, Daytona, Vegas, Miami, L.A.
3 more.
You're an asshole.
You think it's for historical reasons?
I'm sure, because people like their stupid gay vampire voodoo stories and shit, and they love the stupid, like, ooh, the food and the accents, and they like Gambit from the X-Men and shit. But other than all
You're
that,
saying that we're letting New Orleans survive
we're spending
because
trillions
of, Gambit
of dollars
on the X-Men.
to fortify the legacy of one of the worst X-Men.
Morph.
Authorities
cool.
had
No, he wasn't.
warned of this. Once the hurricane hits, it is very difficult to get to anyone. In Houma, Louisiana, this roof ripped off, slamming into utility poles, taking it down. Tonight, nearly 500,000 customers without power in that state. And that number is, of course, expected to
And this is before the storm. This is last week.
Yeah, this was just...
So you live in Louisiana's like...
grow now. Trees uprooted and buildings ripped apart in Golden.
I understand that, especially like we live in Florida, so when people like us like, oh man, you know, this is shocking. But when you live in Florida, like, I mean, you get used to this kind of stuff. Like you really do. Like, I mean, I've seen this so many times in real life, you know, that you're like, all right, whatever.
In Meadow, Louisiana. And take a look in Gulfport, Mississippi tonight. The hurricane's effects far and wide. Very
Okay,
strong.
but again, Gulfport, Mississippi's job is to get hit by hurricanes.
Also, they have casinos. Oh, that's Biloxi.
Yeah.
All right, but still.
Gulfport's just basically
Yeah.
belongs to... Gulfport's there to get hit by the hurricanes, so Biloxi doesn't.
That's a good point.
Winds and rain there. And tonight, the hospitals in New Orleans unable to evacuate patients because of the COVID surge. They are sheltering in place during this storm.
Sorry.
That's every hospital during a hurricane.
No, this was special though.
First off, if you're in one of these Category 4 storms, one of the places you would prefer to be is in a hospital because number one, they are built to withstand these hurricanes if you live in a coastal city. Number two, hospitals have backup generators,
Yeah.
so you will still have power and communication.
Yeah, people always send old people in their family or some of the homes that have like old people that are super vulnerable. They'll just automatically send them to
Take them to the yard. No, for real.
Because they're like, just post them up in there, and that way they've got the machines, they've got the generators. And it's also a liability thing. A lot of people are like, yeah, he's not dying in our old age home. Like, if he's that bad already, just get him to a hospital.
I love that this Cat 4 storm hits and they still fucking stick COVID into the story.
There's Jennifer LaFontaine saying that generators failed, though. Yes, Jennifer, because of COVID. Because you're not vaccinated.
How?
Whatever. I took the check. And I
Thank
took
you.
the check. Just maybe if you had gotten the jab, those generators would have been up. Now, I have no proof that they would have, but I do know two things to be inherently true. One, you have not been jabbed, and two, the generators failed in Louisiana. Now, the way scientists have acted recently, if I'm to copy their homework, then by that logic, Jennifer is the reason why everyone is dying right now in New Orleans.
Are you happy with yourself, Jennifer? Are you fucking happy with
Are you
yourself?
happy you're killing everybody's grandma?
Some people don't think, you know.
And the hurricane hunters tonight flying inside the eye of the storm, the clearly defined walls of the storm there, 17 miles across. And take a look at this satellite image of the swirling eye.
We know what a hurricane looks like. I mean, come on.
They love they love all their new little gadgets. Have you seen some of the stupid? Have you seen the flood?
Do you mean the
simulator?
Storm Tracker 5000?
Have you seen the thing where they can make the flood?
Yes.
And he's like, look, and if you're up to here, it would be up to here. And you're like, wow. Why don't you get your fucking left and right audio channels to work instead of worrying about
think the reason I pulled this video, I think we have one of
First,
the
ABC's
reporter
Victor
ones.
Kendo. He's live in New Orleans with late reporting tonight. Victor?
David, we have been feeling.
Why?
Its hat going up.
I
is
know,
actually
but it's-
very funny. Can I point something out? Still power though.
Mm-hmm.
There's still power.
These
Bar
hurricanes.
is
Also-
still open, boys.
Look at the sign. Open today.
Damn right.
Ain't no party like a hurricane party because a hurricane party.
Dive bars like that are the real fucking MVPs of society.
I actually get sad because some people that don't live in places like here in New Orleans will never understand how awesome hurricane parties are. Hurricane parties fucking rule.
And then there's all these like fucking concern trolls that'll be like, "Oh wow, really? You're gonna put everybody in danger by not being prepared?" And you're like, "No, we prepare, but then once you're prepared, it's not much else to do at that point but get wasted
Yep.
and have fun." So it's like people think that Floridians don't prepare for hurricanes. We get everything all ready to go, and then when the hurricane comes, we're like, "Woo, let's do some shots." That's all.
But the hurricane parties are great too because I do have a little generator. I always have a little generator in the garage in case the margarita machine goes out. You got to keep that puppy running, you know?
And if you ever have some Katrina level shit that happens, you know what I'm saying? Like you and your fucking homies all meet up at the same spot. That means now you're pooling your resources, you're pooling your water, you're pooling your food, you're pooling guns. You got everything. You got a little mini army chilling all together. So if some shit really does go bad, you'll be wasted. You'll have plenty of guns. You'll be ready to
Let me
go.
help you out. On top of all those things, here's hurricane preparedness, okay? Besides, the normal stuff, charge your Bluetooth speaker, charge your phone.
Charge your other Bluetooth speaker.
You got to have a backup Bluetooth speaker.
Gotta have a backup
Have two Bluetooth speakers charged. Then have all your battery packs, make sure they're charged too, okay? Have them ready to fucking rock, all right? Then the other thing is that, ice. You have to have a lot of ice. That also helps.
The battery pack's becoming so cheap.
Right.
We're such a great thing with hurricanes. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember like when those things were either expensive or they just didn't have a lot of them. Now everyone probably owns at least 3 of them bitches. So
Oh, yeah.
everyone has like 3 anchors laying around, and you're like, plug in every one of those anchor battery backups just in case. Because remember we did that one bad one a couple of years ago where we were out for a good like day, I think, of not having power. I don't even think I really tapped into like 10% of the first battery pack, but it
Those
was
are
like,
the best.
yeah, you sat on the phone the whole time. Remember we were using that stupid, what was that? That app they pushed for a little while, the shitty, the chat app that was like a Nextel.
It was like a push to
Zello
talk
or
app.
something.
Yeah.
And remember we spent like 2 hours just getting kicked out of every channel for just talking nonsense.
Well, we got it was this app that basically replaces CB communication for truckers, right? And we kept hopping into the app and being fucking children.
Yeah.
I mean, we were children.
I mean, inviting people to gay sex parties.
Yeah.
We're having a gay hurricane sex
You know what
party.
I'm laughing about that?
Please keep this channel open. This is for emergency. We're trying to help people. Gay sex party. Gay sex party happening right out here.
A lot of
Okay.
people took us up on it, which is the weirdest part.
And then every once in a while, it would just be like, you can no longer speak in this channel. And I'd be like, all right, I'm going over to Hurricane Emergency Channel 4.
Yeah.
Gay sex party. Having a gay sex party.
Force winds for hours now, and Hurricane Ida's strongest punch is still on the way. Watch as the rain just rips right down the street here in downtown New Orleans.
It's raining. It's
and
not
the
ripping
worst.
down the street.
Well, I want to go to Surio's Po' Boys. I think she did really make good po' boys.
And they're
It's
probably
got to-
still whipping up po' boys too.
Right?
that
As
day.
long as they have power, they're making
As
them.
long as they got power and shrimp, they're gonna make those fucking sandwiches.
Come. Tonight, that monster Hurricane Ida roaring ashore, packing violent winds up to 150 miles per hour,
Damn.
bringing catastrophic storm surge up to 8 feet.
There is a tremendous amount of storm surge, a tremendous amount of wind, and this is tough conditions to survive.
As many as 40 people in Grand Isle defying mandatory evacuation orders. The town's chief of police telling our Matt Gutman,
Got devastated areas. Roofs missing,
That's the chief of police.
whole camps torn down.
Wow,
know, when I
tell you
see
and we're
what.
out of fresh water.
When I see these, sometimes I hate to admit it, but I'm so grateful of Grady Judd.
Yeah.
Guy at least has his fucking brain.
Here's another reporter out on the weather.
real situation. This is the time. Heed all warnings. Ensure that you shelter in place. You hunker down.
This mayor reminds me of a no-nonsense assistant principal.
I had one of those.
Darlene Jenkins, don't make me call your mama. You're like, all right, I'm going to class. You know I got your stepmama on speed dial. No, I'm going to class. I'm going to class.
Jersey on the ground in the Crescent City.
Right behind me, the whipping winds of Hurricane Ida on Canal Street, the site of you.
I'm sorry. Can we have a man explain this
This
to
is,
us?
God, every one of them just.
Is there any way?
They always try to have their big moments here.
Ginger Z Frozen, look her up.
They're still trying to milk these things. Like, we live in an age now where we're so jaded. And I mean, we've watched too much.
It's like an Aerosmith song.
Yeah, jaded. We have seen so much shit at this point that it's like they're trying to still. This is that 1990s, like when you had 24/7 coverage, and they go like, "Whoa!" And you like back then, like Jim Cantore became kind of famous because nobody else was like, "Whoa, he's going right into that bitch." But it's like, now you send Chicks and Al Roker and everybody. It's not that bad. Some guy's hat almost blew off. It's fine. It's an NBC hat. He can get a new one.
They give those out for free.
Yeah, you can get them for free. Well, he is the meteorologist, so they probably have a limit. Like, all right, we'll give you 2 a year, but if you lose it, you got to start paying for them.
Here's the Weather Channel faking the wind intensity.
Oh, I love these. I always love these.
Look at the guys walking. Look at the guys walking.
The smiles, even in 144p, you can see the smiles.
Fucking guys, like, what are these assholes?
Why
doing?
do they do this?
He's wearing a fucking batter's fucking helmet.
Why do they do this? They
That's
get
fucking
caught,
amazing.
But they get caught all the time, and they just still
Always.
do it.
Yeah. Them turning their heads and laughing may be the funniest thing.
Why do they always do this?
People are saying in the chat ratings, but like, are ratings even a thing that matter anymore?
No, I mean, the Weather Channel did used to get good ratings
During this kind of stuff.
because they were the only ones that would give a fuck. But then a lot of the 24-hour news people started copying the whole Jim Cantore thing because they were like, oh, and then, you know, just like everything else, just like when they decided to go from having one late night host to 27 of them and having them all suck. Now there's nobody gets ratings because nobody gives a shit. It's not like the special good old days where Jim Cantore would legit go to the fucking Outer Banks and he'd be like, and you know, he was legit. Like you'd see
I like
fucking
Jim Cantore,
fence
yeah.
posts and shit blowing past him. And nowadays they just go like, yeah, we'll have Anderson Cooper do that. We'll have him stand in a kiddie pool and we'll throw leaves at him.
That's a good point. People are pointing out they do this, but we're not allowed to play manipulated videos. They could do that though.
That's so
All
true.
they do is manipulate
That's
videos.
so true, man.
This is the French Quarter. That's what it looks like after.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is Monday here in New Orleans. We are
He said it wrong. It's Nolans.
in the French Quarter, just off of Canal Street. Woke up about 6 a.m.
You know, New Orleans. Here's the other one that passed that you need a vaccine to use to go to the bars and stuff.
You think that guy?
Anyways,
you think that
here's-
guy regrets parking there?
Yeah, that's probably not the best spot.
You know, this is just a part of a tree.
Shit'll buff out.
What's going on?
Let's go to the Subway to have some.
think
You think
strong
Subway
this
makes
ought
po' boys in New Orleans?
Could you imagine?
I'd say-
Could you imagine eating shrimp from Subway?
Can't. Especially after they already came out and said like, there's no DNA tuna and there's no tuna DNA in their tuna.
That's crazy to me.
Still no power, right? Still can't call 911. You can. That's not going to do anything for you.
This definitely wasn't as bad as they wanted it to be.
No, of course not.
This is not what they want. If they look, he keeps going back to this car, which honestly, that's not that big of
That's
a deal.
bad luck. That's picking a bad
Yeah.
parking spot.
But they wanted this to be worse. They wanted another Katrina. That's what they wanted, and they didn't get it. Did you see? I forgot what account it was. The thing is a verified account going like, people in New Orleans have to be very careful because during Katrina, white people were waiting for the power to go out to hunt black people.
It's true.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Those men were called the U.S. Marines, and they were brought in because certain folks couldn't behave themselves.
Remember the rape dome? Remember the super
There
rape
was
dome?
a lot of rapes. God, that was a disaster.
So
yeah, and to
here's
this day,
Ginger Z.
What was that?
You're Ginger Z.
Oh, you got Ginger Z? Okay, the reporter.
Ginger Z.
The woman that was out in the weather. Oh, I don't like her at all.
Is she bad?
Yeah, she's not great. I mean, she's, whatever. Which one's her? The one on the right or the left in the bottom picture?
Oh, the bottom pictures are before and after.
Oh, this is her before and this is her now.
Wait,
Yeah.
Before what? Like, did she?
She got old, I guess.
But how do you like? That's not the same person. It's not the same person.
I'm looking.
How did her lips shrink?
No. That's what I got this from her Instagram.
Oh, that's her Insta.
Yeah, that one on the left is some kind of actress or something.
You say so. All right. Let me read some more of these donations. Let's see, where are we at here? All right. Okay. Donation for 3 beers from Would You Like Foreskin on Your Subway Sandwich?
Well, that's what the tuna is.
You two are wasting the talents of Frozen. He should be naked and throwing fireworks in the background.
What?
Not against that. No way we're Frozen. Arnold Nicotina, instead of being late, have you ever considered not getting stuck in traffic, Mersh?
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. I would love to not get stuck in traffic. But again, my governor's destroying this state by making it an attractive place to relocate
Jeb Bush?
and have a new career in.
Jeb Bush?
God, no.
He was our governor for a little while.
Could you imagine him coming back? Same logo and everything. Jeb with the exclamation point.
Please clap. Recently fired WWE superstar, apparently Chet Hanks over here, thinks that just because he sticks his dick in the BT-1000s that he now can operate on colored people time. Royce, get ready for Mersh's busted BMW to tip you $3 this week. Incest is a good thing to do. Bought 3 beers. Wincest, more like it. Am I right? Anyway, hiring Paul White to be an announcer is like hiring Barry Horowitz to be in a KKK tag team with Jim Neidhart.
Wait, oh God, that actually happened.
Gorillasaurus, Morph sucks. Nobody likes Morph. Morph doesn't even like Morph. At best, Wolverine felt sorry for him. But that's because, unlike other X-Men, he didn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. So, can we check? Want to check in real quick on Afghanistan? Because that's a thing that's still happening. Frozen, do you know her?
Who's this?
No, I do not.
Frozen, can you say the G word for me? Who's this?
Rook?
Thank you.
Thank you, Frozen.
He can say it. I can't say it.
Chink?
Okay,
All right,
that's fine.
calm down. That's cool. We got it.
Superhead?
Okay,
All
that's
right,
3 now.
that's-
You can stop,
yeah,
Frozen. I get your
no.
Asian. But
Slant?
okay, that's
All right.
now that's too many.
I like Slant.
You can't start him.
Slant's a
You
good
can't
one.
start him. He
That
won't
is a
stop.
good one.
Nope.
Stop.
Slope's a good one.
That's they're great. Look, Mike. Let me be clear here. They're all great. Thank you, Frozen.
All eyes?
Okay.
Yeah.
One more.
Oh, one more? Okay. Ching Chong Chinaman.
Hey, there we
Classic. That's a Bugs Bunny
Very
one.
elegant. I like
That's
that
a
one.
Bugs Bunny one. All right.
go. Hey, what's this dude want?
Okay, first off, this is clearly Cassandra from Wayne's World, so I want you to put some respect on her name, all right?
More rocket attacks overnight in Afghanistan. This ahead of President Biden's withdrawal deadline to get all U.S. service members out, despite many Afghans and Americans still there. Fox 5's Kelly Meyer joins us live from Washington with the backlash from Capitol Hill. Good morning to you.
Hi, I just want to remind you, I am not a vampire. The cat has to be inside all the time. It's very important that you guys know I am not a Skyrim vampire.
Why are you convinced she's a vampire?
Bro, she looks like a Skyrim vampire.
Good morning,
She doesn't
Christina.
have
Well,
the
we're
red
told
eyes.
President Biden has
Context.
been briefed on the rocket attack at the Kabul
Kelly Meyer, Frozen. She's blinking a lot.
Yeah, look
Airport,
up Kelly. Google Kelly Meyer Skyrim vampire.
Yes. Also, look up Capitol insurrection. I was there. Yes, it's me. And then use your real name, Frozen. Okay, thanks.
Biden has been briefed on the rocket attack at the Kabul
Was she recently hanging out with Jim Norton? Why is she blinking so much?
airport, but operations are continuing uninterrupted as the time to get Americans and Afghan allies out grows short.
This is very high.
He's the head vampire.
Oh,
Secretary
so
of-
if you kill him, then all the other vampires are cured of the vampirism.
Correct.
Okay.
High risk.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken reaffirmed the
No, honey. You're Anthony Blinken. You're fucking blinking way too goddamn much.
Maybe that's why they gave her this assignment. Like, maybe it'll just be funny.
Maybe
If
you
it's
think
an inside
you
joke.
think
for
she'll
us.
notice?
I don't think she'll. Just do it. Just do it.
president's concern for another attack in the next 24
Secretary
to
who?
48
Who's the secretary? Huh?
hours.
This is the most dangerous time in an already extraordinarily dangerous mission these last couple of days.
The U.S. carried
I like that they're pretending that even though the deadline's tomorrow, that everything's peachy keen and start tomorrow. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
How many children were killed in a bombing that we did? 3, I believe. 3 children were killed in one of the bombings we did.
Okay, but they were Taliban kids.
Turns out they weren't vaccinated, so nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
out another airstrike inside Kabul Sunday, targeting a suspected ISIS-K threat. This following Friday's deadly strike.
2 high-profile ISIS targets were killed, and 1 was wounded.
But what does this have to do with white rage?
Thank God we got that book out there though. At least we're learning critical race theory and letting trans people in now.
More retaliation for the attack that killed 13 service members. The president and the first lady attending the dignified transfer on Sunday morning as they met with the families of the fallen.
People have died and people are going to die because President Biden decided to rely on happy talk instead of reality.
Republican senators speaking out over the loss of troops and the president's exit.
This is one of
Fuck you, McConnell. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. It was up to you. We'd be there for another 40 years, so suck a dick, McConnell.
McConnell looks like a politician from like a bygone era.
Yeah.
Like the 1860s.
He looks like if somebody was drawing a caricature on the boardwalk of a politician.
Yes.
the worst foreign policy decisions
He looks like a New Yorker cartoon.
in American history.
Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney says both President Biden and former President Donald Trump are to blame.
Of course, Romney has to.
Of course.
Romney has never forgiven Trump for making fun, not giving him
Not
the
making
cabinet
fun
spot.
of him, emasculating him, making him come to dinner and beg and getting the photo op and then still giving him nothing. That was, I mean, he hated Trump before that, but if you remember that photo of them together and him like, and Trump like grinning and then just making him fucking parade around and then not, everyone in the news was like, I bet Romney's going to be Secretary of State, and Trump didn't give it to him. He never let that go, man. I wouldn't either. Like, I'm not even saying Romney's petty for it because, my God, what a humiliation. Like, what a public emasculation. I would want to destroy Trump, too.
And right now, we aren't set to hear from
Blink,
the president
blink,
publicly
blink,
today, but
blink,
he will
blink,
be briefed
blink,
on this
blink,
evolving
blink,
situation
blink,
this
blink.
morning. Christina?
Blink.
Kelly Meyer
Our
reporting
pictures
for
are
us.
in Sheldon's now.
Like, sweetheart, you actually got pretty eyes. Stop blinking so goddamn much.
Is this her?
Yep, me and Jim found some stuff.
All right. Jim and I.
Yeah.
ESL.
No? No, okay, that's not as flattering at all. Oof. Oof, that first picture was actually
With
pretty
the makeup,
all right.
it's not bad.
Yeah, with the makeup,
With
not
the
bad.
makeup, not bad.
Go back to the first one.
The one when the hat. You mean?
Yeah. See, that's a good. Yeah, pretty good in there. But that second one was. Oof, that was a rough one.
Yeah. To be fair, this one I feel like is like a high school picture of her or
Right?
something, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
or she sophomore year in college.
This looks like a college softball player.
Yeah. Yeah. She's better than this.
Yeah, by the way, those were two different chicks.
They were?
They were saying the girl on the left is like the Neutrogena
You
girl
happy,
or
Frozen?
something.
You were wrong.
I don't know. That's what she put in her fucking Instagram. I just followed what it said.
Wow, somebody's a little upset.
I'm not.
You're a little mad.
That
Now,
was your problem, Frozen, is believing these hoes.
now this is an Afghanistan journalist, totally and naturally interviewing the leader of ISIS. Totally and naturally. This is how people.
به نام خدا به عرض
Look
سلام
behind
و
him.
درود
Look
بر شما
behind-
بیننده های شبکه جهانی
He's doing the news report
What?
with two Taliban people with guns standing behind.
Yeah, I know. It's like the way our fucking media is, except at least the Taliban is transparent.
That's a good
At
point.
least ISIS is transparent. They go, no, this guy has a gun to his head. We all have a gun to our head in this country, and we try to pretend like it's not a real thing.
افغانستان به ویژه برنامه پرداز باز هم شما را خوش آمدید میگویم میربایس حیدری حق دوست هستم شما را دعوت می
Frozen, can you translate?
Durka, durka, do, durka.
I think that's the right thing. Did you see some COVID stuff here I have to play? Did you see Alex Jones talking about the Trump thing?
Yes.
So, friend of the show, Alex Jones, has been on our show a couple times. It's funny because Alex Jones clips on YouTube, like, they're impossible to find unless if you're criticizing him, you can find them, no problem. If you're making fun of him, they'll come up, no problem. But InfoWars clips of his show, they won't let up. For whatever reason, this one they leave up. This was Trump saying he loves the vaccine.
I do. Bree, you got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working.
BS. Trump, that's a lie. You're not stupid. Just 2 weeks ago, they said it was 65%, then 40%. Saw a number put up about Pfizer shots, 30-something%. Because they just want to tell you it doesn't work, so you're running at the new damn shot. And then they'll tell you in 6 months that one doesn't work. It's called rope-a-dope. Shame on you, Trump. Seriously. Hey, if you don't have the good sense to save yourself and your political career, that's okay. At least you're going to get some good Republicans elected. And, we like you. But my God, maybe you're not that bright. Maybe Trump's actually a dumbass. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Yeah, this was like last week. People were celebrating that Alex Trump can't control his little robots now, and I'm like, Alex Jones was never a Trump robot though. Like,
they've always tried to make Alex Jones out to be some big Republican guy. Alex Jones is the one who started Bush did 9/11. People forget that Alex Jones, no one went harder on Bush than Alex Jones.
yeah,
And they were fine with him when he was doing that. The left had no problem with him when he was those conspiracy theories. The moment that he started, talking about something else.
my favorite Alex Jones anti-Trump quote was from like last year when he was yelling about I forget what thing. I think it was. I don't even remember at this point. But when he actually said, fuck Donald Trump and fuck his kids, was probably the greatest quote ever. Fuck Donald Trump and fuck his kids.
So
I was like, Alex rules.
Question for you. Since we started late, do you want to go later or do you want to skip the break?
I have a bottled water boiling in my car, so I probably should go get that.
Okay,
so we got to do the live read and
Yes,
stuff.
go ahead, let's do live read.
Guys, how about this? Let's gamble together, huh? We got football coming up. It's already happening. We got all kinds of various disastrous world events we can bet on. and we can bet on all of it at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag is a premier sports betting website where you can bet on everything, as I said, from football to baseball, hockey, UFC fights, the Grammys and shit. You can do that kind of stuff all at mybookie.ag. Now, they support this fine program. They support our other fine programs. And they're a great partner of ours here. Use promo code ROTC when you sign up. They're going to double your first deposit that first time out and also give you some free credits for the casino. You can hit the casino floor like a big shot, sitting in your pajama pants at home. What?
It's a big shot. It's an
Big
online
shot.
casino.
Yeah, like a big shot.
It's like the Vegas slots game on NES.
Fucking way she goes, he says. Promo code ROTC. That's what you need to remember. When you sign up with mybookie.ag, and boom, they're going to double your first deposit. You're going to get all kinds of free money. And that's it. Bet, win. Let's do this.
Did you have any money on the pole fight?
No.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, I don't like the exhibitions, and I don't like things.
They're all fucking rigged. You mean that's one of the
UFC
reasons?
kind of is too. I don't like those
Some
judges.
of it,
man.
I don't know. I don't think that UFC is rigged and that Dana White's involved in the rigging, but I do believe that those judges are getting money from somebody. Because I watched some of those fights and I'm like,
You've seen some
How
decisions
the
that you go,
fuck?
yeah, that Sandhagen thing. I
Yeah.
lost so much money, and I was like, he clearly destroyed TJ Dillashaw in the third round. Whatever. Anyway, mybookie.ag, promo code ROTC.
and don't forget our Wednesday shows are Patreon shows. Patreon.com/We're Not Sorry. Go there right now. Or tinyurl.com/ROTC Patreon. Either way, $5 is all you need. You sign up for that. You get our Wednesday shows and the backlog of all of our Wednesday shows. Okay? And you get our movie riffs that we're doing now, too. It's a lot of fun stuff there, and you'll be supporting us. Wednesday shows are super fun. We'll be right back. Stay where you are.
And he's got to make room for the 86 models that are arriving sooner than expected. So right now you can get the deal of the year, or maybe any other year, on sporty Cordia hatchbacks, roomy Tradia sedans, hot Starion turbo sports cars, and tough Mighty Max trucks.
In a world where our very way of life seems to be under attack from all sides, and our freedoms are slowly being ripped away, Guns for Tards is fighting the good fight to help protect America from its enemies by advocating Second Amendment rights for our nation's most vulnerable and often overlooked citizens, the mentally challenged. Our founding fathers believed that a well-armed, trained, and educated citizenry was the key to a free and prosperous society. But Meatloaf also said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We believe that Tards are our second-to-last line of defense against ISIS, and we at Guns for Tards aim to provide the means and the